Hello, everybody. Welcome to this anti-aging yoga class. Yogis measure our age not by numbers, but by the health and flexibility of our spine. So today, this whole class is to create a better posture, to lift the spine, to stop us from continually getting hunched over with that computer neck. So it's a practice to bring the upper back in and to lift our chest so that we look younger and definitely feel younger and more energized. So let's get started. You need a chair, a couple blocks, and a couple blankets. We're going to start by facing the chair. So this first pose, our feet are going to be about hip width apart, and we're going to bend over from the hips and bring the hands onto the seat of the chair. So this is concave back or Ardha Uttanasana, half Uttanasana. So here, even if you're flexible and you can easily take your hands to the floor, I'm going to ask you to keep your hands higher up so that instead of rounding your back, as you could see, my upper back's coming up, I can use this posture instead to draw my middle upper back down by keeping the thighs back, keeping the sides of my waist long, and keeping my arms very straight. So keep your arms and legs straight. If you find that your shoulders come forward towards your ears, which they often do, draw the shoulders back, take a breath, abdomen in, and then bring those middle upper back muscles towards your spine, and then lengthen your spine forward. Maybe your head will come up. And taking just a few breaths here. And then from there, we can hold on to the edges of the chair and step our legs back towards downward facing dog. And again, this one, the thighs go back and then we're lengthening. So instead of pushing the chair forward, we're trying to pull our hips back, lengthen our side body back, and draw that middle upper back down. So rather than dropping the head, looking down, but lengthening the sides of the neck, you may even try to look gently up. And then we come back forward again and stop right here in concave back Uttanasana. And if this came easy for you, you may wish to drop your elbows onto the seat of the chair, but it becomes difficult to maintain that. You see the upper back just keeps wanting to round, so it takes a little more effort here. Broadening the chest, drawing the middle upper back in, and then coming back to straight arms, and then taking the hands onto the hips with the elbows up, even here, trying to maintain that shape, and coming back to standing and keeping the arms by the sides. Now we're going to come on down to the knees. Feel free to put a blanket if your knees are sensitive. We're going to lean forward and bring the forearms onto the seat of the chair. And then we're going to lift the arms up like such. So our fingernails are pointing up and I have to slide a little bit back. And then I'm going to bring the palms of the hands together, press the palms of the hands together, lean the hips back and lengthen my body back. I can look down. And I want to lengthen from the armpit towards the elbow. So that elongation actually helps to understand how to set up also for headstand when you are ready for that pose. So we sometimes call this a headstand prep. Okay, and then we can come in a little bit forward. And if possible, we put the forehead on the seat of the chair. And again, the elbows gently press down. The armpits extend forward to the elbows. And then from there, we can take the hands slightly back. They may come apart, and that's okay. And again, we're trying to draw the top shoulders slightly back. And then forward, and then up. We can also do this with a block. So go ahead and take a block. Any kind of a block will do, just be careful. Especially if you use the wood ones like I do. Have the hands on either side of the block, extend the fingers, and then again, lengthen the hips back, pressing into the block. with your hands, elongate from your armpits to your elbows. Shoulders rolling back away from the ears. And then we can start to take the arms gently back. If you can touch the block to your back, do so. And you can use the hands to slide the block down away from the base of your neck. And then you'll bring your arms back up and come out of that pose. Then we're going to turn our chair around. And we'll stand right in front of it with our back to the chair. Have your feet a little bit apart. Look down, 10 toes forward. Roll your shoulders back, front of the thighs back, and draw the top buttocks down. In other words, don't shorten your lower back. From there, you take your hands gently touching the sides of the backrest, and then lift your chest. So you see the shoulders, instead of rolling forward, they go back. And I'm trying to keep my arms long. So from my shoulders, I'm extending down to the fingertips. As the front spine lifts, draw the back ribs in, lifting the chest. And if you have that room and mobility, you can slide your hands a little bit lower and then lift the chest up, sternum lifting up because you're squeezing the upper back muscles towards your spine. And then looking forward, relax your arms. Once more, arms go back, lengthening from the shoulders to the fingertips, lifting the spine, thighs back, looking up, and then looking forward, maintaining the lift of the upper outer chest, and then release. Now we're going to put the chair aside. We're going to put this block aside as well. And we're going to stand facing the wall, pretty close to the wall, and I'm taking my right hand to the side, more or less lining it up to my waist. Then I'm going to get a little closer to the wall and turn away from my arm. And now it depends how much room you have in your shoulders, so be gentle, don't be aggressive. But if possible, we get a little closer to the wall. And then instead of turning our chest to the wall, we're gently turning away from the wall and the arm stays back. So you can bring your hands lower down to make it a little more accessible, a little easier. And then you can have it up a little bit higher. And then you're going to come back, again, face the wall, turn to the opposite side, and start to walk away from that hand behind you. Get yourself a little closer to the wall if you can, and turn the chest. So your chest is looking directly forward. And then coming back around, we're going to repeat that one more time. And then if you have the room, maybe you can slide the arm a little bit higher this time. So if you're flexible, your hand can go much higher, and you start to, again, walk away from that arm, letting the shoulder roll back, the shoulder blade moving in to the upper back. And then we'll turn around and repeat on to the other side. The arm goes as high as you can without aggravating your neck and shoulders. And the two sides may be really different. One side may be a lot tighter. So just move with that awareness. And then coming all the way out. And then we're going to get down onto the floor. So we're going to do downward facing dog, but a slightly different way of doing downward dog. So usually we place the hands directly under the shoulders and knees under the hips. Today, I want you to hold on to the sides of your mat. Okay, so you're trying to really grab onto that mat and pull it forward away from you. From there, keeping your arms straight, toes under, you're going to go into downward facing dog. Look to see that your feet are hip width apart. Now the work is to push the thighs back and try to pull the mat away from you. And then coming back down. Going back into the pose, going up, thighs back, hips back, and try to pull the mat away. So just see how the back changes and shifts. You see how my upper back is coming up as you take the thighs back, pulling the mat forward, draw the middle upper back in, and your head might come closer to the floor. And then we're coming back down. And now we're coming onto all fours. We're going back to downward facing dog, and we're going to activate that same middle upper back. So we'll go up, and now we're going to move strongly back. So it's like pumping that upper middle back in. So we do it with an exhalation, coming in, coming a little bit out. Exhale, move the upper back in, coming a little bit out. Exhale in and back. So you should feel that area activating, energizing. One more. And then coming all the way down. And we're going to go into child pose, but we're going to use a couple of blocks for our hands today. So the hands are going to rest on top of the blocks so that we're going to sit with our knees apart, big toes together, and then coming forward, our hands are going to be about shoulder height, maybe even a little bit higher. You're going to try to extend forward. You see how I'm trying to walk my hands towards the front of my blocks. And then from there, first, I want to look up. So when I look up, my upper back activates. And then my middle upper back goes in. And then I can look down. And once more, gently looking up, extending the spine forward, pressing down with my hands onto the block. And then drawing the middle upper back in. And if possible, the forehead will rest. If it doesn't, don't force it. Eventually, with practice, it just might one day. And then we're coming all the way back up. Now we're going to take our two blocks. We're going to place them on that flat height, one in front of the other. And because they're a little bit hard, we're going to put a blanket on top. So this is what I call a headstand or a shoulder stand size, and I'm just covering up my blocks here. So I'm going to rest with my back on top of these, and I want it to be a little bit softer. Then from there, I'm taking my two other blankets, and I'm going to be resting my head on these. And I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So watch for a moment. You're going to have a seat. You're going to sit on top of your blocks, but towards the edge of them. And now you're going to roll your shoulders back and lift your chest, and then gently go down. And so you're going to support your head. I'm moving the blankets off of those blocks. So this happens to be just the right height for my head. But if you find when your head comes down that you're doing like this and your front of your throat is really stretching, you're feeling a stretch here and a closing in the back of your neck, just add one or two more blankets here. Then relax your shoulders down. Take a breath, relax your belly down. It actually feels so nice to be here. And you can keep your legs bent, especially if your lower back bothers you sometimes. You don't have to straighten the legs. Otherwise, you can straighten the legs. And if you do, don't let them plop to the sides. Keep them active. So you reach out through your heels, roll your thighs in, and soften your shoulders down, palms face up. And where those blocks are touching your back, it's like a reminder to draw those back muscles gently in towards the spine, to lift the back of the spine towards the chest, to relax the neck, and take a few breaths right here. Of course, you can stay in this one as long as you'd like, but we're moving forward. So we're going to bend the legs. And now I'm going to slide the blankets a little further back, and I'm going to go a little lower down. So now I'm trying to get my shoulder blades to come down all the way to the floor. So they're no longer supported at all. Okay, so my shoulder blades are down and my middle back is supported. And once more, dropping the shoulders out to the side, keeping the legs either bent or straight. That's entirely up to you. But lifting the chest and softening. So this is a variation of bridge pose, a very gentle variation of bridge or Setubandha Sarvangasana. And then we're going to slide further down and shove the blankets and the blocks from underneath. Rest with the back flat on the floor for a moment. And then we roll to the side. Take your time. And then come all the way up. And then we're going to keep one of our blocks. And our blankets. So I'm going to fold a blanket in half for a little more support for my head, probably adding one more. And then my block. So the block is going to support your shoulder blades, upper back. So you're going to want it up here. Can you see? So it's not coming to my neck and it's definitely not under my waist, just where the shoulder blades are. This part is really important. Okay, so it may take a little bit of trial and error to figure out exactly where you're going to place your block. You're going to sit with your back to your setup. And as you go down, instead of going down with a rounded back, already begin to engage your middle back to lift your chest and then gently come down. I tell my students when they do this pose, pretend you got something really sharp behind you and you're trying to lift up away from it. And then you come down, shoulder blades are supported. Take a little time so that you're even. And then, so nice. And then relax your legs. Lift the chest and breathe. You can probably soften the legs here. Unless your lower back is tight, you can keep your legs bent. And again, make sure your head isn't doing like this, okay? So you want to have support, enough support that your neck feels long. So be very sensitive. Otherwise, you're going to just feel your neck instead of opening the upper back. After a while, we're going to come up. So I like to just bend my legs, use my elbows, push up and come up. Now, if that was already, you felt like you were at your limit, stay with that same setup. Otherwise, we're going to turn our block. So now it's on that medium height, and the narrow part of the block is going to support you. You can see right now that the block is a little higher than my blanket. So I actually want to have my blanket be higher than the block. So I'm just folding my blanket in half. You could use another blanket, whatever works. So it's going right up against the edge of my blankets. Once more, it's going to support my spine. So I have to make sure to be as symmetrical as I can. Lifting the chest, drawing these back muscles in as I come down. Come down to your elbows, pause a moment, lengthen the hips away, and then gently drop down. And then the minute you go down, you have to adjust. So if it feels like you're leaning one way or the other, fix that so you're even on top of your block. And then relax your arms. Legs can be straight, legs can be bent. Draw gently your navel, your abdomen down. And where the block touches you, draw those back muscles towards it and lift up. You should feel the back of your sternum coming up to meet the front of your chest. So this variation is a little more intense, and oftentimes all it takes for it to be a lot more comfortable is just a couple more blankets under the head. It will still be effective, It'll feel wonderful and you won't be having a sore neck. Relax your shoulders down. You could even close your eyes. Take a few breaths. Honestly, if you commit to doing these poses, to resting over the blocks like I have for the past few years, you will see such a change in your posture. I used to have a very bad kyphosis forming in my back, and I learned to take care of it this way, and I'm so glad that I did. Because that hunchback is certainly aging. To come up, again, use your arms to bring you up. Take a moment. Enjoy how straight and upright you can sit. There's so much more room at the top of the chest here. And then finally, we're going to take a little bit of a shavasana. You don't need your blocks anymore. You're going to probably just use one blanket. Again, we're going to open it up so it's neat. And then just roll that blanket a third or halfway. Depends on the thickness of your blanket. Now this roll is going to support the curve of your neck. So keep that roll there. Gently come down to your back. You may have to re-roll it and then place it just right so that you can feel that gentle support. And then even take the time to release any tension in the neck. Lift the hips with your hands, lengthen the lower back. And then straighten the legs. Make sure you roll your shoulders a little bit under you. You'll feel that roll lengthening the base of your skull gently away. The neck feels long. You can always add more support under your head. I forgot to mention that. Slow and soft and smooth exhalation, letting go of any tension now. And if you feel that tension, if you feel somewhere a grip, maybe your upper back or your shoulders, lower back, see if you can send your exhalation and patience to those areas and allow them some time to release and soften. Notice if you grip your hands and fingers, if you grip the corners of your jaw, that's very common. And if you find that you do, gently allow those parts to let go. Truly let your back, your legs, your arms, your neck and head to rest. You can stay in this shavasana as long as you would like. And when you're ready to come out, bend your knees. Roll to your side. Since you have the roll on your side, don't stay too long on your side. And then bring yourself all the way up. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Thank you and namaste.